why I do what I do, which is to be able to help our chemical type customers in SDS management and chemical management, industrial hygiene, to be able to make better decisions to keep their employees safe. I like to start my day with coffee. I'm a up and at 'em, get to work kind of person, so I start my day pretty quickly. I definitely take some time at this stage in my life to check on my pets and my family, and then get a cup of coffee and get to work right away. Something non-negotiable in my routine is finding the overlap of my values and the company values and leaning in there and using my background to help our customers make better chemical safety decisions and chemical decisions in their processes. My background is in the hard sciences and the STEM fields. I studied math a lot early on, and I ended up getting my Bachelor of Science in Chemistry. Since then, I've studied green chemistry and product stewardship, and more recently, industrial hygiene practices. And I guess I'd like to also talk a little bit about the work experience I had early on, which I think led me to be where I'm at, which is all of the customer service, retail, food services, and hospitality stuff that I think is actually really foundationally important to going far in folks' career that I don't know that I realized at the time. But, I worked at the golf course, the pizza place, the record store, the restaurant, the coffee shop, which means that I spend a lot of time doing customer service, but I think, and doing some leadership training and becoming a supervisor or assistant manager, which I think all set me up really well to work with our customers and understand their needs and be able to listen to them well. But then I also went on to work in a chemistry. I worked in a clinical analytical lab, and we processed patient samples for folks with kidney stones so they can work with their providers to find ways to avoid kidney stones. At that point in my career, I was starting to look for something to specialize in a little bit more, and I found safety data sheet authoring and MSDS Online, it was called at the time, in 2013. So I started in on that, and I spent over 9 years in that department with VelocityEHS, both working with a great group of people, which has gone on to be one of my themes of working here and why I do what I do and why I'm still at Velocity 13 years later. And so that's been one part of it. And another part of it has been my own personal sustainability journey along the way, working in both like retail and clinical settings and seeing a little bit more about industrial waste and just the cycles of the products and the things that we use and come into contact with. And seeing like the actual like incinerated medical waste in the clinical lab was really illuminating, and getting in touch with safety data sheets in my clinical lab work and seeing how I had to like be aware and informed in order to keep myself safe. Like knowing what to look for with certain chemical reactions that could go wrong, and being able to act quickly and know what to do to respond to keep myself and the folks around me healthy. So that's been part of my journey, and also why I do what I do, which is to be able to help specifically like our chemical type customers in SDS management and chemical management, industrial hygiene, to be able to make better decisions to keep their employees safe. I think what keeps me in this space is the opportunity to help organizations and their employees make better chemical decisions and send everybody home healthy and safe at the end of the day. And the opportunity to do that with software means that we can reach so many more people. And the other thing that keeps me in this space is quite literally the people that we work with. And I talked a little bit about the group that I started with, and just as I've gone on to change my career a little bit with Velocity and interact with new groups and more people, I just keep finding other good people that I like to continue working with. So that's part of what keeps me coming back every day, in addition to the opportunity to help our customers, obviously. I think the opportunity to do that and to be able to have an impact in what I want to do and why I do it at scale using software I'm really impressed with our potential to reach, 10,000s of customers and hundreds of thousands of users and employees and workplaces and help them to help themselves to stay safe. I think it means a lot to me, both personally and professionally, to be able to help folks send their employees home safe at the end of the day, because being aware of chemical hazards helped me to make sure that I got myself home safe when I was, working in my clinical job and doing, making sure we had reagents in stock. And then when I mixed one thing in a certain flask and it started bubbling and fuming, I knew exactly what to do in that situation and where to put it and close the hood and who to talk to, because I did all the right things to prepare. And the fact that I can help other people do that, and to be able to do that at scale with software, it's an exciting challenge to be able to help that many people.